1300 casts, day 4. I woke up in the next morning in the cave, then took my garmenty and put it on, then cleaned up the cave and went out to go outside. It was a clear day, so I walked out. I tied the scroll on my back and began to walk in a crouching pose. It felt so wildly natural, like walking on all fours was a normal thing for me. It has been for my whole life. Birds called as I walked through the woods, and I saw a deer, but something felt off. It looked normal, but I kept my guard up and slowly approached. It had scars on its flank, and I realized it's a Myrick veil, but it was too late. It transformed to its real form. My eyes widened as the Myrick veil revealed itself, glaring at me with a crude smile. It had 6 eyes, 3 on each of its furry head. Large curved horns protruded from its head, and a long, slimy tongue slid from its mouth, easily 2 feet long. I growled. Wait, did that just growl? I questioned myself, then focused on the raptor in front of me. Then it lunged at me, but I felt no bite. Chapter 2. When I opened my eyes, I saw another raptor attacking the Myrick veil. Was this a coincidence, or was this raptor trying to protect me? I got up on the raptor and the Myrick veil looked at me. The Myrick veil was easily twice the size of the raptor, but it seemed scared. I grabbed the scroll as the Myrick veil and the raptor kept fighting. When I ran, I looked back and the raptor was shedding a tear as I ran away. Why? I kept running and realized that was Rappy, my father's old raptor. Rappy was my father's best friend. Poor buddy must have seen my father burn. But I gotta thank him for that save. I kept running until I saw a hollowed out giant oak and squeezed inside it. I sighed and dropped to my clawed hands and feet, panting and coughing from running. I sat down and set the scroll down as I caught my breath. Damn, that was close. Luckily, Rappy was there. Once I caught my breath, I cleaned the wound on my scaly arm and wrapped it with bandage made from scubage plant. Scubage plants are plants with a healing factor in them, so I always keep rolls of them in my pocket just in case. I got curious and opened my book called The Creatures of Socaverse and opened to page 309. There, the header said Myrick veil, and I read it. Name, Myrick veil. Species, deer-dragon hybrid. Type, aggressive. Known to transform into a deer to fool prey, a Myrick veil is an aggressive beast that hunts humans and half-humans. Its long tongue allows it to squeeze the life out of its prey for an easy meal. It has 6 eyes to see from every angle. Deaths, 307. Kills half-humans. Diet, half-humans, hunters, smaller animals. Age, lives up to 23 years old. Number, 17,000 known alive. I found a shiny piece of metal an hour later and saw my own reflection. Damn, I look hot. Anyways, if you want a description of what I look like, I guess I can give you one. My eyes are the color of saffron red, with a few highlights of maroon red. The rim of my eyes is the color of dark red, and my eyes have vertical slits that are the color black. The color of my hair is, well, the main color is flame scarlet red, with the underside of my hair to be, I think, a blend of coral red and burgundy red. The color of the root of my hair where it is at my scalp is dark red, with the ends at least a lighter tone of scarlet red. I have short hair, at least to my chin. My hair is kind of puffy, but not curly. My scales, that I don't know why I have, are iridescent, I think, but they have a blend of hues of scarlet red, cherry red, and vermilion red. The pointed end of each of my scales are fire engine red, with the flat end of each scale a hue of dark red. That's kind of it, except I don't wear any clothes except my garmenty, or lion cloth. I set up my camp in another cave at midday, and started making my pine bed. Man, it was hot out today. It's summer, so no need to worry about winter yet. I used the hide from the bunnies I hunted on day 2, and used the hides to make shoes. I used thread made from retrud plants. Retrud plants are mostly used to make threads, by cutting their stalks into thin pieces. I threaded the shoes and made the soles out of flexible tree bark. Once they were done, I put them on. You might be wondering why I'm putting them on. Well, hunters always wear shoes, so my footprints will trick hunters into thinking they are just more hunter prints. Us half-human creatures wear barefoot, so wearing these things humans call shoes will work as a cover. I hope. I hate how they enclose my feet. It feels weird, but they are warm. I walked out into the woods and got less splinters and cuts on my feet. I might wear these more often. When the sun was near the horizon, I came back with a deer and skinned it, washing the hide with my water skin and cooked the meat. Man, I miss the taste of perfectly good cooked deer. Once I ate it, it was sunset, so I doused the fire and blah blah blah. 1,300 casts. Day 5. Alright, I couldn't sleep that night. I had nightmares of the day Pyria attacked my village. I woke up and saw that the claws at the end of my fingers were a little thicker and longer. They must have grown overnight. I have more scales on my arms and legs, but I realized that my legs are really thick with muscle. I think it might connect to my scales and me walking in a crouching pose. It feels so natural. When I was moving camp, I felt some faint pain in my shoulders and back, like tiny needles prickling my skin. It might be sore muscles, but it was in my shoulder blades and pelvis specifically that was having faint pain. When I went to a pond, I stepped in, but it burned like it did on day 2. I think it may be because of these stupid scales. I tried to pull them off, but it hurt. When I yanked one off, it hurt and I bled blue blood. The hell? I picked up a drop of blue blood on my finger from the wound and I looked at it closely. It was definitely blue. I wrapped up the wound with scoobage bandage. Why is my blood blue? I walked back to my cave and looked at the lock on the scroll and grabbed a rock, and sat down in front of the closed scroll and raised the rock.